Hello everyone, how is everyone today? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time joining me. I hope that you'll enjoy this video. So this week's installment is going to be a redraw of a 2-year-old drawing of mine. Before I get more into it, I quickly wanted to let you know that I've uploaded a few new prints and paintings on my shop, so if you would like to check out the new pieces that are now available, you can go to the link in my description below. I am currently on holiday, so I won't be able to ship any new orders until at least the beginning of July, so do keep that in mind if you order anything from my shop in the next couple of weeks, but once I'm back I'll make sure I ship everything as soon as possible. Also, if you'd be interested in hearing more about my process in drawing the piece that I'll be doing in this video, and if you would like to see a real-time version of it, I have a full video of it on my Patreon, the link is in the description below. I will also possibly upload it as an ASMR video at some point or another on my ASMR channel, because I just think that ink drawing sounds are probably a really nice ASMR experience. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you think would be interesting. So the piece I'll be drawing in this video is actually a redraw of one of my Inktober 2017 drawings. The idea of redrawing one of my Inktober drawings came from the fact that I wanted to submit some of my work to a call for art for a black and white art book. I have now submitted the pieces to the book and I haven't heard back yet, but I'll let you know how it goes. But basically I submitted some of my Inktober 2017 drawings, and I thought I'd also take the opportunity to actually redraw one of them and see if my art has evolved, if my art has changed, if things have improved, just get a fun overview of the last 2 years basically. So the problem is that there are quite a few drawings in my Inktober series that I would really like to revisit, some of them as paintings, some of them I think work better as black and whites. So I picked a few of my favorites, made a poll and posted it on Patreon and asked my patrons to help me decide which one I should redraw. And the one that came out on top in the poll was actually one of my personal favorites, which was both really scary and quite exciting. I think it was a favorite generally of a lot of people when I posted it back in 2017. One of my friends also bought the original, which was really nice. And it's generally one that I've always wanted to revisit, but also have always been a bit scared of, because I actually really like the original drawing. It's one of those drawings that I had difficulties imagining being able to improve on, which made this whole experience both a very interesting challenge and also quite a daunting one. So I decided to redraw it, not so much with the goal of improving it, but of basically going with the flow of what I like doing now and seeing how my tastes for that kind of concept has changed, and really how I would reinterpret the idea rather than the drawing itself. Obviously, since this is a drawing that I wanted to submit to the call for art for the black and white book, I was gonna stay with ink for it. I wasn't gonna paint that one, but also I think it's just one of those concepts that just works really nicely as ink and doesn't really need the added color. So I was pretty happy to just stay with the original mediums that I used in the first drawing and simply re-explore the concept instead of necessarily the visual aesthetic of it. Something that I can definitely tell has changed in my art since 2017 are the poses and the postures of my characters in my compositions. I'm definitely including more movement now. I'm definitely trying to make my characters a little bit more dynamic than they used to be. In my 2017 series, my characters are more still, more static. The poses are kind of more less dynamic, there's less movement in there, and that's partly skill. I wasn't very comfortable with drawing humans at the time, and I'm marginally more comfortable drawing them now, but also it comes from the fact that my approach to my art has changed a little bit, and so the things that I'm looking for in my pieces are different from what I was looking for at the time. So the drawing I decided to redraw is actually day 11 of my Inktober 2017 series, and if you compare it to all the drawings that came before it, It's definitely calmer. It's got a more tranquil atmosphere coming off of it. At least I think so. It's got something serene. It's got a stillness and a calm. It's almost oozing silence and kind of peacefulness, again, at least for me. And I remember that that's pretty much what I was looking for when I was drawing it, because the past 10 days of doing Inktober, although they had been going absolutely amazingly, the reception to my drawings was amazing. I was quite scared because I decided to go with a theme of mental health for my series, which is quite a tricky and challenging topic, and I wasn't entirely sure how people were gonna welcome it, but it had been absolutely incredible. However, all the concepts that I had done up to then were quite dark, they were quite intense, there were things that I had to think about quite a lot, there were concepts that brought up a lot of difficult feelings in me, which is not something that I want to shy away. My art doesn't generate bad feelings in me, and quite the opposite, it helps me work through them, but that's mentally exhausting and that's very, very tiring. And so on that 11th day, the day of the drawing I am now redrawing, I needed something calmer, something to settle my brain, something to settle my mind and just recollect myself, find a place of peace and find a place of contentment, and just manifest a side of my mind that was a little bit more poetic, a little bit less chaotic. So this day 11 Inktober drawing not only was something that I wanted the imagery of to be calmer and more tranquil, but I also wanted the process of drawing it to be less intense. And that may seem like a weird thing to say for something that is as detailed as this drawing, but really this kind of detail where it's very intricate but not very complicated is really good to turn your brain off and just focus on almost automatic drawing. And so this whole experience around this piece was just something I really needed on that day 11. It was both an imagery, a symbolism, and just a visual image that I thought was really pleasing and kind of relaxing and healing, but the whole process of actually drawing it was also like that. So it was a whole experience that I really enjoyed, and it really replenished my energy for the rest of the month, and so this piece really means a lot to me. So when I decided to redraw it, and when I explored the different avenues that I could maybe take it into, I wanted to keep this feeling of serenity, and I also wanted to keep this feeling of life. I wanted to keep this idea of things growing, of things evolving, of the character nurturing this new life, this vibrant jungle coming out of its head. But I'm not in the same place now as I was in 2017. Back then, in October 2017, I was still working as a makeup artist. I hadn't fully decided that I wanted to pursue art yet, but it seemed like a more viable possibility at the time, so I was very conflicted. I was in a much more difficult place than I am now in some ways, and I was going through very different experiences than I am now. I was definitely more scared at the time. It was a time of big changes, it was a time of precarious instability, and so it definitely reflected in my Inktober 2017 series. Whereas jump to now, and although I obviously am not doing a very stable job by any means, I'm in a more stable position when it comes to my mental health, and I'm in a more stable position when it comes to my personal life. Back then I was still working another job. Now I have now quit and I'm doing art full time. So my state of mind is very different, and I'm also a different person. And so something that at the time needed to be calm, something at the time I needed to create to heal and recollect myself and find a place of stillness and calm, I now need I need the life, I need the energy. I now need to express this incredible energy that having this job has given me, this incredible energy that being able to do this job has given me. Not only that, but as I grow older, I just become more self-assured, I just become more grounded in who I am, I become less worried about what the world thinks of me, less worried about what direction my life is taking. It doesn't mean that I don't still have lots of anxiety and lots of different problems, but some aspects of what I worried about 2 years ago are now things that I don't worry about as much now. And so I wanted this piece to be more vibrant. I wanted all that energy that I have at the moment to create, to transpire from it. And it was really fun to try and bring more life and more movement to a piece that was initially very still and very calm. And without taking away the calmness, I wanted to bring a new dimension and new movement to the piece. As far as noticing my own improvement over the past 2 years, I'd say that I'm definitely more comfortable with drawing humans now. Anatomy is definitely something I feel less intimidated by. It's obviously still difficult because human anatomy is just one of the most difficult things to learn how to draw. But I definitely feel more confident, and I think that kind of shows in the new piece. There were proportion issues I had trouble with in the first drawing that I wanted to fix later on, and I got an opportunity to do that with this drawing. But as far as the concept itself, I don't think I've improved on it. I think it's just really different. The vibe from the two drawings is different. They show different aspects of me, different aspects of my style, and an evolution as far as my relationship to my art and my relationship to myself. I love both pieces equally. They wake up different feelings in me, and they represent such different moments in my own life and in my own development as a person and as an artist, that I'm just really happy that I took the chance and just tried to redraw this piece. Thank you so much to my patrons for choosing this particular piece. I didn't realize how much it meant to me until I explored it even further, and I'm just really happy I did it, even though it was really scary when I was actually trying to come up with an idea, because I was so worried that I wouldn't do anything new, that nothing would have changed, that I would have just stagnated for 2 years. It's a bit scary to try and see whether you've evolved or not. But redoing this piece and actually doing this video too and just talking to you about it has just shown me that my mindset has evolved, that I've evolved as a person, as an artist, and also that, you know, my technical skills have also evolved. So it was overall a really, really positive experience, and I took so much out of it, and I'm just so glad that I was able to do it. Thank you so much for listening to me rambling on and on about me. I hope that you guys like the pieces. I hope that you liked the video. When this video goes up, I'll be on my way to my first relaxing holiday in a very long time. I can't wait to do nothing, although I doubt I'll be able to because I really suck at doing nothing. Relaxing is not one of my skills. But I hope that you are all well, that you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you really soon, either next week if I manage to actually edit the video I want to do for next week, but if I don't, I'll see you when I get back at the beginning of July. Take really good care of yourselves, everyone, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!